Hi, I'm Pastor Sarah, aka Disorganized.Religion on TikTok, where I have a big following. I'm here today to share one of my tips for creating viral content. Today, we're going to talk about green screens. I've always wondered how you make those work. My first question is, do I really need a green screen? No. So why go to all the trouble? Why not just film in front of the window and save yourself the hassle? It's all about lighting. This video is filmed using a green screen. The image you see behind me is the sanctuary in my church, but it's added in later. I'm actually in a classroom right now that looks like this. Here I am in the actual sanctuary, and you can see that either you can see me or you can see the mountains behind me. You can't see both at the same time. The sound in here is also really echoey when there are no people in the sanctuary. So that's another reason I film in a separate room in front of the green screen. Could you theoretically put anything behind you? Totally. I did a sermon about baptism during the pandemic, and I was able to make it look like I was preaching from the shores of the Jordan River and show people what that looked like. You can also use videos in the background. So I can actually put this video, for example, in front of a moving picture. You can also use this to have a conversation with yourself. If you want to be complicated about it, here, I'll show you. You can actually have a dialogue with yourself if you get the timing right. Figure out the timing. Take the Bible literally. Which Bible? The Bible? The one with 66 books or 73 or 79? But you don't need that for dialogue. Just cut back and forth. It's so much easier. You can also use it to show charts and images, as long as they're free, right? Yes, make sure you use royalty-free images. Wikimedia Commons is a good place to find them. I also use Pixabay a lot. Since TikTok also prefers beautiful scenery or mansions, places that make you look like you're rich, using those images can create an illusion that also boosts your views. So how do you make the green screen into a picture behind you? TikTok has a green screen option itself. However, I find that it is not very good, and you can always tell that someone's in front of a green screen. This is me using the app and a green screen. So I usually use iMovie. I toss the image into iMovie. I move my video up above it, click this little menu, and select green screen. I may need to crop the photo background or the image a little bit. Once you find an image that works, my trick is I use the same image in almost every video because I know it works and fewer variables means less time. So can I just use any green piece of fabric? Like, how do I decide what green screen to get? Some green screens are made out of vinyl, others are made out of cotton cloth. I actually started out using a giant green cloak, and that actually worked okay for a while. Just make sure you don't wear anything green, turquoise, bluish green, teal, any kind of green in your video, because anything green will disappear in the final cut, which is actually kind of fun, and you can play with that in creative ways. Are there advantages to vinyl versus like cotton cloth? Totally. A cloth is not reflective. If you look at this is a challenge for me when I film. That's the reflection off the ring light. The downside is that most cloth screens that you'll get are super wrinkly, and they're also extremely thin. So if you do get cloth for a green screen, I recommend, first of all, iron it. And second of all, if you're able to sew, make it double layered or back it with sort of a darker color. Now, vinyl doesn't wrinkle a lot, and for longer term use, I find it extremely durable. I've been using the same green screen for 2 years, and it's done great. It is, however, a little bit more expensive. They also make green screens now that attach to your computer chair, and they even have green screen colored paint. So you could paint an entire wall and have that be the background of your videos. Isn't yours like hung up at a church or something? It is. It's attached to a long tube at the bottom, and I just roll it up and put it on those cabinets behind me when it's not in use. If you are going to use a green screen a lot, I would recommend finding a consistent place to put it. At first, I had this set up on a frame, and I'd move it around and set it up, and I had to deal with sound and lighting issues every time. So find a consistent place where you can have consistent lighting. The fewer variables you have to adjust each session, the better. Thanks. You're welcome. And if you enjoyed this content and found it helpful, be sure to like and subscribe so that more people can see this content, and stay tuned for more tips.